So welcome, this is a test video I want to share with you. I just started playing the guitar on a serious level, dabbled with it for a bit, but just got into it seriously as far as understanding the pentatonic scales, and blues scales, and the bebop scale. Chords are still kicking my butt. I know a lot of 2 and 3 finger chords. But nothing substantial. I'm still learning. So these video series is not really about my playing ability because it really sucks. I've been playing March, April, May, June, July, August, almost 5 months. I spend 15, 20 minutes a day on scales and stuff like that, and understanding the whole philosophy of how the guitar thinks. The objective of these videos is to share with you my collection. According to my girlfriend, I went off the deep end back in March, and I asked myself, I hate to say this number, close to 60 guitars. Now, for those of you saying, oh, bullshit, I'm friends of Mike Stearns, also Farrell Santana, and they both said bullshit. Anyway, I will share with you most of the collection. I would say a good 30 of the guitars are actually here in my apartment. The rest are downstairs. So I will go through video by video and basically break down the guitars in my collection. Mostly Fender based. And of all my guitars, I literally have one Les Paul Studio, 2 SGs, 4 or 5 PSRs, Paul Reed Smiths, 1 Santana model, thank you, Carlos. And the rest are basically Telecasters, all the versions of Telecaster, 2 pickup Telecaster, 3 pickup Telecaster, 4-way switch, 5-way switch. This particular Telecaster is a custom shop, which is a nitro finish. The thing I like about this particular Telecaster, first of all, I love the color. It's totally badass. It has a hot rod pickup here, a windy Farrell pickup in the bridge, and I'm just going to share with you a couple of the tones. Now, I don't have an amp. Actually, I have one amp. It's a Fender Champ, which I don't use because I live here in a New York City apartment. And anyway, I just run all the sounds out of my laptop, either through GarageBand or other software I use, out of a couple of M audio speakers that are behind me. And I have something called Candy Fuzz up there right now. Some of the other videos I'll do a much cleaner sound. So here is the first pickup. One of my favorite pickups, the bridge pickup, has more of that classic twangy sound that you get the Telecaster. Now, what's interesting about this particular Tele, which I really love, it's got another switch here. I forget what they call that switch. It's not an S1 switch. I do have a couple Telecasters with S1 switching. This basically is a toggle switch to get 4 different sounds here. I don't know if you can hear the different tone. But one of my favorite pickups to play with, of course, is the bridge. I love that 20 classic Telecaster sound. Here's middle pickup. Now, I think what I'll do in subsequent videos, I'll turn the fuzz off. So basically, you won't be fuzzed out. I know it can be an annoying sound, but the objective here is I just want to share my collection with you guys, to get feedback and tell me what you think. Do the guitars suck? Do I suck? Who knows? Who cares? So here's a middle pickup. I spent a lot of time trying to hone my pentatonic skills. And here is the egg pickup, which is a hot rod pickup. There's more of that bluesier sound to it. Now, I typically like to play with my volume down and my tone. Usually, I turn my tone up. So, as an example, if you turn your tone down all the way, it's going to be very muddy. Here's an alternative switch. Now, I'm not going to be changing my shirt color to match my guitar so I don't get spoiled. So in the next video, I will share with you my new S1 Baja Custom Shop Telecaster. So stay tuned. So welcome back. This is one of my recent purchases. This is a custom shop, a Baja Telecaster with S1 switching. It's one of the first ones I bought with S1 switching, which I really like. I've turned the fuzz off for this particular video. Just to let you hear more of the clean sound of this little bad baby. I'm going to start again. This is four-way switching 1, 2, 3, 4, plus an S switch that you get by pressing the control knob here. Again, I have my tone all the way up. My volume will adjust. Okay, that's the first. That's basically the bridge pickup. And again, I put these on aftermarket. I really like the look of the old-fashioned ashtray. So a lot of my tellies have these little pickup guards, or I'm sorry, ashtray covers. The previous guitar I showed you in this guitar, and most of the tellies I actually like, strangely enough. I'm not a big fan of the 6-saddle tellies. I like the classic sound of the 3-saddle. So a lot of my Telecasters do have 3 saddles. This Telecaster, which I sleep by next to my bed, is actually very inexpensive. It's actually one of my favorite ones. Unfortunately, the input jack got discombobulated, and I have to fix that. And I'll fix that later today to share that with you too. But this one I keep on my bed. It's a black telly, classic telly sound. Anyway, here's the first pickup. And here's with S1 switching turn on. A little bit of twang to it. Here's the second, which basically plays, I believe this plays the neck and bridge in serial. And S1 is still on, by the way. Without S1. Also, again, I've been playing since March, and I want to stick with the basics as far as the pentatonic scales, and eventually I do want to know all really cool chords. I try to avoid mimicking or playing other people's music, not because I want to experiment on my own. I have a musical background. I understand musical notes and things like that, playing saxophone and drums, but the guitar is basically something that's eluded me for years, and I finally cracked my knuckles, rolled up my sleeve back about March 15th, and now I'm here talking to you. So that was like a little fake Pearl Jam. And no, that's not the correct one. I think the Pearl Jam song starts up here. But again, I'm not about mimicking actual songs. That's not about, with the exception of, I'd like to learn some Hendrix, like Third Stone from the Sun, if somebody wants to teach me that one. So this is it with S1 switching. Alright, so let's just move forward to my favorite pickup here, which is the neck pickup. With S1 switching. That was with S1 switching, my mistake. Extra sound in the background is a gaggle of Harley Davidsons going by my 57th Street apartment by Central Park. So this is with S1 switching. On. So again, this is my custom shop Baja Telecaster with S1 switching, and I'll talk to you in the next video. I'm going to share with you a really cool custom job in the next video. Okay. Okay, welcome back. This is another custom shop tele with modifications. The thing I like about this is kind of paying homage to the E. Smith model. Notice that this particular pickup, this is a Kinman pickup. Kinman is out of Australia. Really expensive pickups, but it's great sound. This again is a hot rod pickup. This is a nice ash, swamp ash. The wire line here has been modified. It's a little slightly different. What happens here? 1, 2, 3. This is three-way switching, but it's basically there's no. Notice if I go to my last pickup and I turn the volume all the way down, you can still hear sound. So basically, there's not a tone control. Basically, these are two volume controls, and that's the way the guy put it together. And I liked it. I saw it. I bought it. It says custom shop tuners on it, which I really like. This is one of my favorites, but I'm not too sold on this whole idea of two volume control, so I think I might take it down to 38th Street Guitars and have Matt basically wire this with his little magic wiring system he uses here. So here's the first bridge pickup. Yes, bridge pickup. This is a little bit chunkier neck too. It's a little bit like a baseball bat, which I kind of like because I have bigger hands. So it's a little pickup. Again, I just started playing back in March, so don't beat me up about my playing. And this is my neck pickup. Next, I'm going to share with you. Actually, guitars have become like children to me. Like I said, I think I haven't counted last, but I think I'm over 60 guitars. I know that sounds insane, but hey, what more do I want to do with my money? I retired a couple years ago. Life is good. I'm going to show you a really cool thin line with a Bigsby pickup Telecaster custom job too. Actually, this is a custom built. It's not a custom shop. It's custom built. And we'll do that in our next video. So stay tuned. Okay, so before I show you the thin line, sometimes I'll buy bodies and put pickups on them. I bought this body itself and put the neck on it, but it needs a setup, and that's basically beyond my capabilities. This is a Telecaster Highway 1 model. I believe it's 2005, 2006. It's got some nice, I like the three bridge saddles here. It's I can't plug it in because it needs a serious setup. It's the strings are way too close to the body, but I just wanted to share that with you. This is another one of my collection I just picked up recently. Rosewood fretboard. Classic Fender tuners, and it's a Highway 1 model. And I put on a Wormuth neck. This is actually a Wormuth neck I put on the Highway body. Is that sacrilegious? Hey, who knows? All right. Now, what I wanted to show you is this little bad boy. This is a thin line with humbuckers and a Bigsby twang bar or rockabilly bar. It's wood grain. It's really kind of a cool sound. Notice the fretboard. It's got some really cool, intricate. Now, this is a Telecaster body. I'm not sure who made the neck on this one, but I kind of really like the sound. So here's the bridge pickup. Here's a bit of pickup with, again, these are two humbuckers, which, a friend of mine said, he says, look, part of the reason you have a Telecaster is for the Telecaster sound, so why do you want to put humbuckers in a Telecaster? Hey, because I'm nuts. And here's the bridge pickup. Anyway, I just think it's cool. I think it's badass. Next video, I'll show you some more of my stuff. Stay tuned. Okay, I'll share with you something very profound here. The guitar behind me, this one over here, is actually a Telecaster made in Mexican model, which is actually one of my favorite ones because it plays like butter. Since I'm new to all this, I don't want a guitar that eats up my fingers. So what I did a couple months back, I went out and bought an American model. This is a brand new, I bought it basically an open box model. Brand new, all the goodies and case and hard shell tweed case and everything that came with it. But you know what, I gotta tell you, this is a 52 reissue with a hot pickup here. Everything is stock, American version. But I'm really kind of disappointed because it doesn't, I mean, you can tell this is quality because when you turn the knobs, you can really feel that nice polish to it. But I'm not too happy with the way it plays. It's just kind of, maybe it needs a serious setup or something, but this is one of my more expensive guitars, and quite frankly, I'm a little disappointed that I decided to get, to pay for better, and I have guitars that are a third of the price that actually sound better and play much easier. This is bridge pickup. Yeah, this is 52 reissue with a hot rod pickup here. There's a middle pickup. And I put this on post-production. I basically bought a bunch of these off eBay. I think I paid like $19 a piece for these covers. I just like how it looks. Call me silly. Maybe I'll get another shot. I don't spend much time playing this one. In fact, what I was a little disappointed about too is I had to actually reattach the neck because when I got it, the strings were hanging off the fretboard. And a friend of mine that's a guitar tech, he said, yeah, you could bring it into me, but basically if you just loosen the screws and pull the neck over a little bit. Anyway, that's what I did. And here is my favorite neck pickup. That's that. Let's move forward and show you more of my collection. Okay, so this is another one of my favorite tellies. Again, this is all stock. It's got the, actually I kind of like these tuners. It's got the slot tuners, which originally I thought, who wants slot tuners? But it's much simpler to string than trying to put the string through the holes. So this has the slot tuners. The other thing you'll notice about this Telecaster is that this is kind of reverse, meaning that your controls are back here. 1, 2, 3. So here is 2 humbuckers and 2 humbuckers and a hardtail. Well, a hardtail, of course, Telecasters only have hardtails. But other than putting the pickup into the bridge, basically this has 6 saddles with 2 humbuckers. I'm not going to attempt any Led Zeppelin. But I will attempt some nice Samba for Pi. So again, tones all the way up, volume's about halfway. Here's middle pickup. Okay, so I don't want to bore you like the neck pickup. The objective of these videos is not to share with you how I play because I've been playing since March and I, quite frankly, am not very good. I think I'm better than most people after 3 or 4 months of playing. Anyway, let's move forward. A lot of the collection to get to. We only basically showcased a few. Okay, now unfortunately, I'm not as organized as I would like to be as far as my guitars go. I know where the ones I play a lot are to get to. I keep those in hard cases. Everything else I keep in soft cases, and I think what I'm going to start doing is take pictures and do a laser print and put the picture of what's inside that case. This way it makes a lot more sense. Anyway, this is just a standard Telecaster. I modified the pickups. These are, again, Kidman pickups that I put in here. Classic tuners. Nothing fancy. Now, again, I have many Strats. I have probably about 3 or 4 black ones. I have black with also maple neck. Most of my black Strats have rosewood. That's a typical Strat sound. So I'm probably not going to show you too many variations of the black, because you'll say, well, it looks like the same one. Well, I can assure you it's not the same one. So here's first pickup. Actually, 4-way switching. 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, that's not necessary. There's nothing really special. Except it's a Strat, and it plays like a Strat, and it sounds like a Strat. If only I can play. Okay, so here's another Strat, American Standard Strat. Nothing special, all stock. For those of you that maybe can't see the color too well, it's actually a deep wine color. It's not black. The other one was black. It's a deep wine color. This has the maple, which I kind of like. I like the sound of maple versus rosewood, but what do I know? No modifications to the pickups here. This is just all stock. Strangely enough, I come to find out I own 2 or 3 American Specials, and I didn't realize that they have the custom shop Texas, Stevie Ray Vaughan Texas pickups, which I really like. I never knew that. And those guitars retail for about, I think, $900. I have 3 or 4 of those. So I actually like the pickups on them. It's actually a... I like the pickups. Actually, I'll show that to you next. It's a... actually, I still have the tags on that one. It's a Stratocaster American Special with Texas pickups. I'll show that to you next. So this is an American Special that I got off eBay. Notice it still has the tags on it. I actually just played it for about 10 minutes. It came with a nice soft shell case, gig bag. But this has the Texas pickups, which I really like. And I wound up getting this off eBay. I don't know what happened. Maybe the person bought it from the store and changed their mind. I didn't care. I saw that it was new. I checked out the serial number and everything, and it's got the the Fender. Anyway, so I wound up getting this for like $500. Actually, with shipping was like $540. So notice that this has more of a bite to it. Yeah, this is neck. I understand Eric Clapton likes a lot to play with the middle. And that's the name of that tune. So that's the American Special Stratocaster with Texas pickups. So this, if I could take the pick out my mouth, this is a fun little Strat. It's got a mirror reflection pick guard. Seymour Duncan pickups. Those are the only modifications on here. I'll put the bridge pickup on. Speed Whiz here. Speed Whiz. Actually, I don't know. Those are just basic pentatonics. Standard Strat, with the exception of the Seymour Duncan pickups I have in here. Rosewood fretboard. But if you want to see a really cool Strat, check out this next one. It's got a sensor mic or a sensor pickup Lacy, I should say. I think that's what it's called. Pickup on the bridge. Hey, what do I know? I just buy them. All right, so this Strat here is something that one of my good friends at gigs a lot, plays here in the city. He calls Badass. This is the Badass Strat. I guess it could be. Again, this has the maple neck, which I really like, over the rosewood. This has that special pickup here on the bottom here. I think it's the lace. Anyway, you probably know more than I do. Anyway, it's got that here. Turn up the volume. You're probably bored with your my same old. You know, like I said, I was saying earlier, one of my first videos, out of all the guitars I have one Les Paul. And not that I don't like the Les Paul sound, but, you know, for some reason, Gibsons really eat up my fingers. I have 2 or 3, I think I have 2 SGs, one with P90s. And I'm sorry, the action, the Fenders, is, to me, play so much easier on the fingers. Anyway, that's that Strat. Are we ready for some rock and roll? As said earlier, I only have one Les Paul, which I kind of really like this one. I bought this one at Rudy's Music. It's one of the first purchases I made back in March of 2013. It's wine color. It's got a nice smell. Comes with a hard shell case, molded hard shell case, with a white little fur inside, which I really like. This is the studio model. I didn't really want to spend more money for the little, I guess it's called binding on the outside. It didn't really impress me. I did come close a couple months ago. I saw this beauty 3 pickup. Why 3? Because I guess it's better than 2. I saw a 3 pickup Les Paul with a Bigsby whammy bar, which, you know, I'm into gadgets, I guess. That's part of the reason that appealed to me. I didn't wind up getting it, but nothing classic Les Paul sound. Now this has a where you could turn to you basically could turn the pickups off, because humbucker, of course, is just 2 canceling single coil. So basically, by tap, these are the taps on them, so you can get it. Some Hendrix Red House with this. So that's tap. So that single coil, there's humbucker. Anyway, that's the Les Paul Studio. Now this, we're in an orange theme today. You know, I like to wear orange shirts for my orange guitars. I just like orange, one of my favorite colors for guitar. I don't know why, it just is. I bought this one at Rudy's. This is one of the first ones I bought as well. I think I bought this actually right after I bought the Les Paul. And I just thought it was, you know, I'm a big Brian Setzer. I like the whole rockabilly sound. I like the Wes Montgomery sound, etc., etc. So I went ahead and got this. It's got a Bigsby whammy bar on it, Filtertron pickups. I'm a little, I mean, I got to spend more time with this, but it definitely has a great sound. But it's not as, you know, since I'm kind of new at playing guitar, I was a little disappointed that this is a little bit harder to play. Maybe the action's actually set pretty low. I guess I'm just a little spoiled with the Fenders. You know, it's easier on my fingers. What can I say? Like, what is this knucklehead doing with all these guitars and you can't play? Well, I'm a happy knucklehead. Anyway, this is my Gretsch hollow body, and I'll talk to you soon. Now I'm going to share with you one of my first purchases off eBay. Because after I bought a bunch of guitars at Rudy's in New York City, I actually went to buy from Manny's, but Manny's had moved. And Rudy's, I've known about Rudy's because that's where Carlos buys his guitar, name dropping. Carlos went to his wedding back in 2010. I'm friends with him and his wife, so I was very honored to be invited to the wedding in Maui back in December of 2010. And the house band was some guy named, what was his name again? Wait, hang on. Oh yeah, Herbie Hancock and Wayne Porter, is it? What? Oh, Shorter. Yeah, some guy named Wayne Shorter and Herbie Hancock was the house bands. I hope they're going to do well with that because they'll probably get a lot of publicity. But anyway, of course, it was the legendary Wayne Shorter and Herbie Hancock. I got it on tape. They played Afro Blue Impressions. It was absolutely monstrous. So see you at a rockabilly concert at a theater near you. So here's a little story that perhaps some of you can appreciate. I do have, I'm friends with some serious musicians. Mike Stern is actually my absolute favorite guitar player friend. Known him since '81. Met him up in Boston and Kicks. Miles Davis introduced me to him. Not to drop any names, I've known Miles since I was 16. And to this day, I cry when I hear his music. Anyway, what I'm trying to get at is that everybody's into custom shop, and you got to spend the nice wood and the $4,000 and $5,000. Well, I have a couple of those types of guitars, and a couple of them I shared with you already. But quite frankly, it's all about playability. This guy that works at Warmouth Guitar Necks, the people that make bodies and necks, he says, look, a lot of this is bullshit. You talk about neck size and pickups and tuning. He says Hendrix basically had big monster hands, and he played stock instruments. The bottom line is if you can play, you can play. But with that said, this I bought off eBay. This is one of my first eBay purchases. And at first I thought it was a real Stratocaster, but it's really not. It's actually a parts Stratocaster. But it's one, and I've had some professional friends come to the house and play this. And this is actually one of their favorite guitars out of all the ones that I have. This is one of their favorites. And I actually want to pay, I think, $220 for this. The guy was going to charge me $30 for shipping, but he was out in Island City or something, so I just took the train out there, picked it up, saved myself $40. Hey, it's $40, right? So this is very interesting. If you can look here, this doesn't have the classic Stratocaster knobs. It basically has Telecaster type of knobs. It has a volume control and a tuning. And it's got a nice little whammy bar, and it's got two single coil, basically the humbucker style. Two single coil mounted together. So it's really kind of a badass sound. So here's the bridge pickup. But when I first got this, I used to keep this on my bed and play the hell out of it, and that's how I learned most of my scale. Because it plays like butter. Again, the thing I like about this particular guitar, I think it looks nice. I think it looks totally badass. It's got gold tuners up on top. That's a fake Fender stamp there. And the levy bar just fell off. Well, that's not good. All right, let's pick that back up. But the thing I like about this particular guitar, A, it was cheap, which that's not really about buying things that are cheap, but it sounds totally badass. And it plays like butter. So as I shared the story with you earlier, I went out and bought that nice 52 reissue, which I think was cost $1,000 with the tweed case, and I was excited to pick a nicer guitar. And quite frankly, that doesn't play as well. This plays much easier, and quite frankly, this sounds better. The neck pickup on this gives a real blues sound. So someone's to be sent for custom shop 4 and 5 and 10 and 12 and 30 and 50 and $100,000 guitars. I saw a Roy Buchanan original on eBay for $70,000. I mean, hey, even if you got that kind of money, it's like, really? Really? What, because Roy Buchanan sweated on it? I mean, no disrespect to Roy Buchanan, but he hung himself. I mean, it's really tragic. It's horrible. Okay, so this is one of my favorites, and it cost me $200. So you don't have to go out and spend a lot of money to get some nice guitars. Talk to you in the next one. Okay, so this is actually one of my favorite Strats, and you can tell it's a different Strat from before because A, it's got this little neck strap here, which I never unwrapped from the original packing. It's got a rosewood neck board, and it's the SSH, which of course is single coil, and humbucker. And volume's turned down, so let's try the volume. So a little bit of story here. When I started buying different guitars, I thought a Strat was a Strat, a Telecaster was a Telecaster. I didn't realize how very different depending on, do you get a hardtail Stratocaster, you get a whammy bar Stratocaster, you get one with humbuckers, you get single coil, you get maple. I mean, so I've become like a mad scientist, and I think that's part of the reason. Since I'm new to all this, and I'm kind of like a kid in a candy store, and I like to experiment with different sounds. Two, strangely enough, as many as I have. Two that I'd like to have that I don't. I'd like to have another thin line, perhaps even custom shop thin line, and also a Carbonara. I think I'm saying it correctly because I think it sounds really. I played one at Sam Ash, and it sounds really nice. And also, I think I haven't bought a Rickenbacker, but I might buy one of those. Not a 12-string. I have enough problems with 6 strings to try to figure out the 12-string. Probably the Rickenbacker 360, which comes with mono and stereo jacks, which I really could care less about the stereo. Anyway, let's move forward. So, getting back to the orange theme here, this is a Pinecaster with a 3-bridge pickup. Now, this guitar is in serious need of a, in fact, I've been around the tuning it 100%. Because it is a serious setup. I'm not going to plug it in, but it's really badass. It's orange, one of my favorite colors. 3 saddle pickups. Got this one off eBay as well. I really like it a lot, except it needs a setup, and I don't know how to do that. So I'll take this down to my friend Matt at 30th Street Guitars. Now, what I do want to share with you is one of my favorites. This is it's Nashville Telecaster. So it comes with the 3 pickups and 5-way switching. Now, I'd like to find, or possibly even switch this out. I'm considering switching this out because I know the Callahan and the Glendale bridges are state-of-the-art, and they're the coolest things out there as far as sound. So I'm considering swapping out the 6-saddle bridge, which I know it's better for intonation and stuff, but I like the classic 3-saddle. Most of my Telecasters have the 3-saddle, which I really like. So I'm considering swapping this out for... actually, I might keep this way. It doesn't get another Nashville. Who knows? But I say about the Nashville, it's a 4-way pickup. I'm just going to... Here is a bridge. So it's got that classic Tele sound. And here is the second, which I believe is bridge and middle. And this one really is one of my favorites. I used to keep this by my bed a lot, but it plays like butter. See, my feeling is if a guitar feels right, this middle pickup only. It just makes you feel more comfortable playing it. What do I know? I just started doing this, so I don't have all the answers. Now, my apologies, I forget the guitarist's name, but he's very good. In fact, he's good friends with Mike Stern as well. I used to play with Ravi Coltrane, and I was talking about, all these guitars I have, and how I got a lot of the scales and a lot of the pentatonics under my belt in different keys, but the chords still kick my ass. I still need to kind of figure out the chords. And I was telling him this, and he's like beaming at me like, yeah. And at the time, I think, this is going back a couple months, I think I had maybe 40 guitars. And he's kind of looking at me like, yeah, 40 guitars, yeah, you got the scales and the pentatonics figured out. So finally he looked at me and he says, look, man, because I've been playing guitar for 32 years, and I'm still trying to figure it out. Well, that was a very humble thing to say. But again, I'm humble enough to say the chords. So I can fake a lot of two finger chords, but I understand the chords, but I can't seem to get clean chords. But I'm teaching myself the Bebop scale this weekend. I started Friday. It's today, Sunday. I think today's the 18th of August, maybe, or something like that. Anyway, yeah, I'm teaching myself the Bebop scale in different neck positions. There's this great little app, or actually a website I found that you can basically just click, and it will show you the positions. What I do, I know all the notes on the guitar. You know, basically, if this is an A, then you can just, I'm sorry, if this is an A, then you just go 3 over, 3 down to the next A, 3 over, 3 down to the next A, 3 over, 3 down to the next A. I told that to a friend of mine who's been playing for 30 years. He goes, well, I didn't know that. Well, you know, if you can play, you can play. I guess you don't need to know that. I think what I'm trying to share with you is it's very fascinating how everything works. Back around March, when I really started to get into this, I saw this great video on eBay, and the guy says, hey, look, here's how it works. Each note is 2 frets away, except for B and C and E and F. And I thought, well, that's brilliant. Nobody ever taught me that before. Nobody even told me that before. I didn't understand that. And on top of that, everything repeats itself 12 and then 13, 14, and on down. So once you understand, so if this is E, then you just go back up the alphabet. So if this is A, and that's B, then that's C. And if that's C, then that's D. And if that's D, that's E, etc., etc. Well, so one thing I learned is definitely play in tune and to know where the notes are. And eventually I'll figure out chords, and eventually I'll play Carnegie Hall. Yeah, sure. And eventually I'll have a bridge in Brooklyn that I want to sell you. So again, this is my 3 pickup Nashville Telecaster. I think I have maybe 2 or 3 of these bad Oscars. Talk to you next. Now, again, these guitars have become like children to me. So to say, well, which one's your favorite? Yeah, I guess I do have some favorites. But this particular one, I bought the body. I bought it in the early days when I first started. In the early days, yeah, going back to March, yeah. Okay, Robert, the early days. I bought a bunch of bodies in an effort to maybe, I don't know what I was thinking, maybe save money or experiment with different nets, because a friend of mine told me about the nut width, and I had bigger hands, so I'm going to 11/6 anyway. So this is a classic example. I bought a lot of stuff from the Stratosphere and experiment with different bodies and different necks, etc., etc. So I tried to pretty much avoid, because I didn't know about Warmoth at the time, so I tried to avoid third-party necks or second-party necks or somebody's party necks. This is an SX neck. This is really not a true Tele neck, but I got to tell you, I've had friends play this one, and they think this sounds better than the regular Tele. This is a classic Tele with 3-saddle bridge. But I got to tell you, I really do like the sound of this neck. It's an SX neck. I'm not really sure who makes that or where it's made, but it's got some great Fender. I put some Fender custom tuners on the back. That's the bridge. Here's the neck. Okay, let's move forward. So here's another in a series of black Strats. Again, black Strat in this particular case. It has the maple neck. And notice this is different than the other Strats. So I'm not showing you the same black Strat over and over again. This has the classic 3 pickups. This is all stock pickups. Hardtail. I'm sorry. Whammy bar is just missing. Yeah, unless it's really special, I'll spend more time on it, but this is basically just the black Strat. Now, I was talking before about playability. This particular Telecaster, again, doesn't have the 3 bridge. It has the 6-saddle bridge, which is fine, but the thing I like about it, I like the color, great color. That's a reason to buy a guitar. The new Farrell pickups, I swapped out the lipstick pickup and the bridge pickups for some Lindy Farrell blues pickups. Bridge pickup 20 sound. The thing I like about this this Telecaster rather, it's really simple to play in the fingers, and it's a great color, and it's got good pickups, and it does have the six saddle bridge to it. But you know, maybe I'll swap it out eventually. But I like the way it sounds, and my thing is, if it's not broken, don't fix it. This came with a really cool thing. It came with what's called a Coffin Case. It's a case that looks like a coffin, which I've never seen before. So that's kind of nice. Talk to you soon. Okay, another black Strat. Wait a second, isn't that the same black Strat? I think this guy's fucking with. Oh, I think that guy's screwing with us. Didn't say that word, right? No. Anyway, you know, just in case the kids are watching. Well, you can tell the Strat is different. First of all, it's the classic Strat setup, but it has a, I think the last Strat had a maple neck. This has a rosewood finger neck, so therefore this is different, so therefore this is a different Strat. Maybe I should start sharing the serial numbers with you. This one needs a setup though because the action is too far away. This is all standard pickups, nothing fancy, modified. It definitely needs a setup because this action is way too high. Robert doesn't like high action. Okay, I believe this is called the Custom Deluxe Telly. It's similar to a Telecaster I showed you earlier. It's got the two humbuckers. Nothing set up here. It's got control knobs similar to a Stratocaster, if you can get a bird's eye view of that. It's got humbuckers. Again, friends of mine said, well, why would you want to put humbuckers on a Telecaster? Because you I know, because it sounds like Les Paul. So that is bridge pickup. Here's the two pickups. Nice warm sound. And of course, neck pickup. Anyway, that's the name of that tune. So switching gears a little bit, this is a Maple SG, Gibson SG, the same type of model that, this is apparently a 69 reissue, the type that Carlos played out with stock. This has the P90s on it because of the nice contour case. The SG is a nice, I like the SGs. I have two models. I have one without P90s and one with P90s, but one thing I would figure out, I mean, I shouldn't say figure out, the one thing that I don't like about, you know, Gibsons in general, and I guess it's a different type of camp, it's just like, I'm a photographer as well. I shoot on Nikon, so there's a Nikon camp, and then there's the Canon camp, and they both have their opinions. It's not what is better or worse. You know, I know it's a different scale too, a different scale neck. I think Fenders are 25.5 and Gibsons are different. But it's just that it's a harder play. It tears up your fingers. When I was in high school, a good friend of mine, Joe Klug, played jazz and played really fast funk on an SG. So that was my one of my first guitars that I actually aspired to, which of course never got around to buying one, which is really kind of stupid because when I was in high school back in the 70s, you can get Les Pauls for I think $325 and Telecasters and Strats new from Sam Ash or Manny's for $275. But also back then I was explaining to the local pizza guy, it's been in business for a while, that back when I was in high school, or at least in grade school, Franklin School in Metuchen, New Jersey, you can buy a whole entire pie for $2.75, and I think slices are 35 cents. I tell that to my soon-to-be 26-year-old daughter, and she goes, "What? What? How old are you?" Anyway, this is my Gibson SG. Talk to you soon. Now, this is a real jewel. I kind of keep this one locked up at all times. This is a vintage 1957 Strat that I wound up paying a little over $30,000 for. I know that sounds nuts. Just kidding. This is not even a Strat. This is I actually wound up getting this off eBay. I'm friends with Sidney Blackman, Carl sent out his wife, and she's friends with Felicia, who plays at the Late Show Letterman Band. And she's a big fan of Hammer Slammers, and that's what this is. This is a Hammer Slammer Strat type of model. Now, this probably can use some kind of serious setup. I played this a couple times when I first got it, but here's the genius about this particular axe here. I didn't do anything to it. It's basically standard pickups, which I think they might even be ceramic, but I got this off eBay for $60. Now, some of the electronics probably need to be adjusted, as you can see. But for $60, I put $100 worth of fixing up and tunings and stuff like that. I got a nice little axe. I have about 4 or 5 of these. I bought off eBay, Hammer Slammers. You know, I paid anywhere between $20 and $100 for them, and they're great, great guitars. Now, do they compare to a custom shop Fender for $4,000? Well, no, they don't. But do they sound nice? Yes. I think it just comes down to what my friend at Warmouth Guitars plays. I mean, if you can play, you can play. Hendrix played stock stuff. He didn't have special nut width and special fretboard dressings and pickups. He basically just took it out of the box and played the damn thing. And he's Jimi Hendrix. Anyway, that's my Hammer Slammer. Now, this is really cool. This, which you may think is a Telecaster, is not my guitar tech. You're saying, wait a second, clown. You've been playing since March, and now you got a guitar tech. Well, you know, I have guitars, so I need a guitar tech. I actually bought my first bass guitar back before the summer started, and I bought a P-Bass. I opened it up. I was so excited to get it. It came. I took it out of the box, took it out of its case, opened it up, it was all start to go Jaco Pastorius on it. And the frets are so far apart on the bass that I actually spent 15 minutes on it, get really frustrated. My hands hurt. I put it back in the box, and I haven't touched it. That was probably 3 months ago. So this is a Sonic by Fender, Fender Sonic. Now, the thing that makes this different is notice the pickup jack, basically, it's kind of clumsy. It plugs into like an SG. But it's got this kind of Jaguar Jazzmaster-esque type of bridge, and it's got the 2 pickups, and it's basically called the Sonic. And it's kind of a nice little, kind of a different type of sound. I believe these are ceramic pickups. It's got 3 toggle switches here. I think this is one of Leo Fender's original ideas behind doing electric guitar before actually he did the, you know, he did the Nocaster. I think he did this before he did the, I could be wrong, for those of you that want to comment or, anyway. Anyway, this is the Fender Sonic. Sonic by Fender. Fender. Sonic. Get one. Don't confuse that with the Sonic Hedgehog or the Sonic Burger or anything about Sonics. Okay, now this one. This is a Jaguar that actually still has a tag on it too. Actually, I forgot I had this one. This is a Jaguar with P90s on it. Kind of a different sound axe here. The quality on here is probably not as nice as, anyway, it's not bad. Maple fretboard, 3-way switch up your toggle. down here sweating. Anyway, that's the Jaguar by Fender with P90s Fender Jaguar. Now, here's a nice little number. This is actually turning out to be one of my favorite guitars as well. This has custom inlay on the neck. It's got black tuners. See here. And it's got something very different. It's a Telecaster, but it was applied to. Notice that there's no holes in the back of this. I just banged it. So this is a Hot Shot Trilogy. And at first I was kind of intrigued when I saw this online. But this particular guitar plays very nicely. First of all, it helps to plug it in, which would probably make a lot of sense. Of course, how many videos do I have to do before learning to actually plug in the guitar? Now, the nice thing about this Hot Shot Trilogy, which I really like, is you can go right into GAD tuning, any other type of tuning that you want, by simply flipping these switches here. So if I take this and move this up and move this up and move this up here, I don't know if that's set up to GAD, but what it does, it changes the tuning. So as an example, let me just move this up a little bit. So this would normally be the E. So that's C. Now I can make it D. And that's B. Just like that, I can make that A. So you do all kinds of opening tuning. I'm considering maybe putting this on some of my other guitars, or actually buying guitars and then buying this and have maybe Matt down at 33 Guitars. But it's called the Hot Shot Trilogy, and it's really kind of cool that it basically able to do open tuning or different types of tuning, like Keith Richards tunings or GAD tuning, Jimmy Page. But I like this. I like the way it looks. I like the way it sounds. It's got that really nice custom inlay. And now it's got that twangy sound. That. Now, this is also one of the earlier guitars I bought from eBay. Like I said, I bought maybe half a dozen, 6 or 7 guitars at Rudy's for, retail minus discount, whatever discount they give you 40% off. And then I said, I like this, I like that, I like this, but I don't want to keep spending $3,000 and $4,000 and $5,000 for a guitar. It go broke really fast. So I found this one on eBay. Around the $1,000 range. This is a Strat, American Strat with grease bucket circuitry. Now, I was kind of excited to get this, but it's kind of it's a hard player. So I did some research. Grease bucket is just a different wiring system. It uses the old wax wiring. I spent a lot of time with this when I first got it, but I actually quite forgot about it until I just opened up the gig bag a few minutes ago. But this has got the grease bucket technology. It still has the plastic on the pick guard, so it's a used model, but I don't think it was played very much. Which I come to find out, what happens is a lot of guys get this for presents, or their dad bought them a guitar, and it just sits around for 10, 12 years. Nobody buys it. And the mom or dad or whoever, kid goes off to college, they decide to sell it. So there's a lot of cool stuff you can buy on eBay, and this is certainly one of them, which is Grease Bucket. Talk to you soon. Here's another Stratocaster SSH, single coil humbucker. This one needs a serious setup. It's got a maple neck, which I like. I kind of like the Strats with maple necks. American Standard. Probably it's use a tuning too, so I'm not going to tune it. So I do have a lot of red or candy apple red. Actually, my first Strat was a candy apple red because I'm a huge Peter Townsend. I had the opportunity of meeting him a few times. I just think the guy walks on water. I think he's one of my heroes, not necessarily because of his guitar playing, but because of his writing and his whole attitude. And he's a total survivor, similar to Keith Richards as well. But you know, I know it's a dumb reason to buy a guitar, but one of my first Strats, which I have downstairs in my office on the first floor, was a David Gilmour model, and I'm also a David Gilmour fan as well. I like all good guitars, no matter where they come from Chet Atkins to Wes Montgomery to Charlie Christian. Of course, I think, and maybe it's a little prejudiced because I know him personally, but I think Mike Stern's the greatest living guitar player there is. I think he can do it all, from bebop to jazz to funk to rhythm and blues to, you know, you name it. So he's on tour in Boston next week. He's playing at the Blue Note this week with Eric Johnson, which is totally burning the house down. I mean, Eric Johnson, great player. Love Eric Johnson. But I have to say this, not that Mike has any kind of ego, but Mike has definitely schooled him. I mean, Mike is, I'm sorry, Mike cleaned, I said it. Mike cleaned his clock. Eric seemed like he was trying too hard. Stern is effortless. Anyway, my opinion, don't hold me to it. So this is a Canon Apple Strat, and I'll talk to you soon. So this is a classic American standard Strat with Glasser Sunburst, which, you know, I wasn't originally a big fan. I like more of the solid colors, but the more I play this and the more I look at it, I kind of like it. It's the classic, you know, Strat look and everything to it. Nothing special about it. Standard pickups. I might put Kinmans on this, or I might just leave it alone. Who knows? I'm a mad scientist. What's going on here? Oh, volume would help. Oh, I guess this needs a serious setup. Wow, I haven't touched this probably for a while. Oh, yeah, that neck is way too close. Yeah, this needs a serious setup. So this is going up to Mac at 30th Street Guitar. There, I plugged it again. You know, a couple of Strats ago, yeah, okay. 2 Strats work into a bar. Anyway, I think I made a mistake on a Strat 2 videos ago that was Candy Apple. That was actually the one red. This is the Candy Apple red here. And this has something that I actually modified. The only thing I modified here, I put the David Gilmour whammy bar on this one, which is kind of nice. It's short and sweet to the point. So if I turn the... I know Jeff Beck plays with that whammy bar, but Jeff Beck also plays with the stem, and he's Jeff Beck, which of course I'm not. So American Standard Classic Sound. Candy Apple Red Strat, David Gilmour whammy bar, tribute to Pete Townsend. So here's another Sunburst Strat. Now, for those who say, oh, how do I know it's not the same Sunburst Strat? Well, if you recall the other Sunburst Strat, which I'm wearing the same shirt, unless, you know, I went and changed, and anyway, it's the same Strat from 2 minutes ago. The other one needed a setup. So this is definitely different. And I'm not sure did that Strat have a maple neck, or anyway, not sure, but this is a different Strat. Now, for those of you that think I'm a bit of an a-hole or a schmuck because I have all these guitars, and I'm just sharing with you the different types of guitars I have because I'm very proud of my collection. So you can either enjoy what I'm sharing with you or stop the video. Definitely need to practice more. I understand that. So here's another Strat. American Standard. Nothing fancy about this one. This is blue. I know it looks black, but if you look at the camera closely, you can see that this one is actually blue. So, you know, it's interesting. So learning the bebop scale. One of the bebop scale is it goes 9, 10, 13. Wait, 9, 10. That's the end of that particular scale, which is kind of interesting because if you listen to this, that's stormy weather, stormy weather. Which I guess all classical music is based on some kind of chord structure or scale because that's how music is put together. Anyway, I'm not sure what color blue this is, sapphire blue, cobalt blue, Strat. So here's a candy apple red Sonic. Here's another Sonic, similar to the white one I shared with you earlier. So again, it's got a different type of hardtail bridge on it, which is actually different from the other Sonic as well. I got this one off eBay. It's just a fun little guitar. Again, my guitar tech told me about these, and they're just kind of the proper setup and tuning. You can really make this sound nice. There it is. That was the bridge pickup. Anyway, Sonic by Fender. So here is another black Stratocaster, American Standard. I believe this is 2006. I used to actually keep track, and I do have it written down someplace of the year model of all the models I have, but you know, I just kind of wing it. This Strat has the extra large wedge bar. Well, since I'm playing a Strat, you know. Little pickup, Eric Clapton style. You know, I gotta be honest with you, with Clapton, growing up as a kid until very, very recently, maybe since I started actually playing guitar, I really didn't have much respect for him. I thought, you know, he was overrated, bloated. I don't want to say the word hack, but I never really appreciated Eric Clapton. Until I started learning and teaching myself, you know, the blues and realize that less is more, that it's more of his style of playing. He's not a technician. He's not a, you know, it's just, you know, slow head. I mean, now I really have a lot of appreciation and respect for him. Plus, he's grounded in the whole Delta blues, and, you know, so he definitely is a purist when it comes to that. So I have a newfound respect for Eric Clapton, which I never really had before, because he got all the kudos and the accolades, and they passed to people like Jeff Beck and, you know, all kinds of great guitarists, including Mike Stern and Santana, etc., etc. So, black Strat, Eric Clapton. This is not an Eric Clapton Strat. It just happens to be black, and he plays a black Strat. All right, so we ready for some rock and roll? Or more importantly, ready for some Paul Reed Smiths. I recently bought my first Paul Reed Smith about 3 weeks ago. Since I have four, I now have four. I have a Santana model, SE model, a really nice orange one. Of course, I have to have an orange because I like that color. But the Paul Reed Smiths are really interesting. I think they're just well crafted, get attention to detail. Nice warm sound. If you put the bridge pickup on, is that little twang? This is a Paul Reed Smith SE model. I kind of shied away from them for a while, and then, you know, of course, Carlos plays them, so I figured, hey, if they're good enough for Carlos Santana, I mean, why not? But they got a nice playability to them. Again, very great, especially for the money. Great craftsmanship, good sound. You get nice, solid. You know, sometimes on some guitars when you go to turn the tuner, you go to turn the toner, the volume, it's like cheesy feeling. This has a nice, solid feel to it. So Paul Reed Smith #1. I'll show you the others. So orange. Aren't you glad to see me? Aren't you glad to see my guitars? Aren't you glad to see your Paul Reed Smith? This is an SE model with the classic. It's not the Santana model, but I do have a Santana model. But my Santana model is not the current one. My Santana model is 2005, before it picked the little bird fretboards, which I really kind of like. Again, very nice sound. Attention to detail. Now, we've done enough for that clean sound in our previous videos. So, just because we can, we're going to start. Paul Reed Smith. So here's another Paul Reed Smith, orange as well. Aren't you glad to see me? And of course it's different because if you look at the fretboard, you can see that there's another birds on it. Is it really ballsy? You get a nice clean sound. Now I'm running again through my Macintosh Vox amp with a fuzz box, Paisley or Pink Fuzz, I think it's called. Now, my friends that play guitar, seriously, they come over and they say, well, where's your amps? I said, well, I don't really have amps. I mean, for all the guitars I have one Fender amp, which I really don't use because I live in a New York City apartment, and typically I play with my headphones on, A, to not drive my neighbors crazy, B, so my girlfriend continues to live with me. So, but the thing I like about the software is you can basically get whatever kind of sound you want. Now, I know there's purists out there, so well, it's not that pure, you know, Fender Twit Reverb or the Vox, but you know, hey, what do I know? I'm just the guy that's buying guitars and having fun. Now, I think I have my Santana model up here. If not, it's in the office, but if I do, you'll see that in the next video. Well, it looks like my Santana model, Paul Reed Smith, which is my fourth one, is in the office downstairs, which I'm not going to do. What you saw here, give or take, let's see, one, possibly two guitars, and the bass. I didn't show you the bass. I'm not going to show you the bass. Those are the guitars I keep here at my apartment. The rest are downstairs in my office, which I will post those at a later date. But right now, you should have more than enough fun examining. Oh, I meant to show you this guy. This is one of my favorite Telecasters. It's the one I keep on my bed. It's got the classic 3 bridge. But unfortunately, what happened last week, the jack pickup came out and it fell on the floor, and my girlfriend has a housekeeper come here every 2 weeks, and I have no idea what she did with it. So short of going out to buy me a part, I don't want a chance plugging this in because I don't want to push it in too far. But this is actually one of my favorite Telecasters. It plays like butter, like I said earlier. This is one of the cheaper Telecasters I own, but this is actually one of my favorite because it's so simple to play and it sounds great. So anyway, thank you for being here. My name is Robert Farrell. Anyway, I just wanted to share my collection with you. I hope you enjoyed it. Talk to you soon. Carpe diem. If you're in New York City, say hi. Talk to you soon.